गोविंद राधे
राधे राधे गोविंद 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 गोविंद राधे
बोलिए राधा रानी महारानी की
जय।
जय। Can someone fix this for me, please? ऊपर करना होगा। हाँ, यहाँ से। बोलिए श्रीमद् सद्गुरु सरकार की जय। एकमेवाक्षरं यस्तु गुरुः शिष्यं प्रबोधयेत् पृथिव्यां नास्ति तद्द्रव्यं यद्दत्त्वा चानिनो भवेत्। कस्तूरी तिलकं ललाटपटले वक्षस्थले कौस्तुभं नासाग्रे वरमौक्तिकं करतले वेणुः करे कङ्कणम् सर्वाङ्गे हरिचन्दनं सुललितं कण्ठे च मुक्तावली गोपस्त्री परिवेष्टितो विजयते गोपालचूडामणिः नमः कमलना भाय नमः कमलमालिने नमः कमलपादाय नमस्ते कमलेक्षणे यो ब्रह्माणं विदधाति पूर्वं यो वै वेदांश्च प्रहिणोति तस्मै तग्वं हा देवमात्मबुद्धिप्रकाशं मुमुक्षुर्वै शरणमहं प्रपद्ये। Inquisitive souls, let's chant Bhajo Giridhar Govind Gopala for just a few minutes before I resume where I left off from last night. भजो गिरिधर गोविंद गोपाला 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 भजो गिरिधर गिरिधर गोविंद गोपाला भजो 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 गिरिधर गोविंद गोपाला। बोलिए वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय। श्रीमद् सद्गुरु सरकार की जय। Devotional listeners, now I request your full attention. Yesterday, we came to know from scriptures that it is only by knowing God that the individual soul can attain freedom from the binding clutches of Maya. There is no other way possible. We also discovered that of all of God's children, it is only we, humans, who have been given the right and the privilege to attain God realization. The reason is twofold. One reason is that we have been given knowledge which is far greater than the knowledge of lower creatures, plants, insects, birds, and animals. Reason number 2 is that we have been given the right to perform fruit-bearing actions. Karma, they are called. Even devatas who possess far greater knowledge than humans and whose bodies are definitely much superior to the human body, even they wish to be born human. Gayanti devah kilagita kaani dhanyastu ye bharat bhumi bhage. Even they wish to be born human in the sacred land of India, because they belong to Bhog Yoni, just like the other creatures, just like plants, insects, animals, birds, devatas in Swargalok belong to Bhog Yoni. That means that they are merely reaping the fruits of actions performed in their previous lives, but in their current life they do not have the right to perform actions that will bear fruit in the future. So they cannot perform karma, but we can. This is why every living creature desires to be born human. And so scriptures tell us, O humans, you must strive to attain God while you have the opportunity. If you don't, then you will suffer greatly, in the sense that you will be born in lower forms of life for many, many kalpa. But we have a question, and that is, just why is it so important for us to know God? What is my relationship with God? In answer to this, Saint Valmiki has said, Lokena hi savidyeta yona rama manuvrataha. There is no living being who is not eternally surrendered to God. The relationship between the Atma and Paramatma is this, that the Jivatma, the individual soul, loves the Supreme Soul. In fact, the individual soul does not love anyone else. No living being loves anyone or anything else. Everyone loves only God. I left you with a question last night, and that is, how can this statement of Valmiki be accepted by us when we see that there are many atheists in the world? There are many, many atheists, many people who don't believe in God. How can it be said that every living creature loves God? Every living being, not only humans, but every living being is eternally surrendered to God. The words of a saint cannot be untrue. So we need to understand why he says what he says. And so now I begin tonight's discourse. Looking around, we see that everyone is so busy, not only humans, but even little tiny creatures like ants. They're moving at a great speed. Have you ever observed them? They're walking so quickly, and you think, where are they going? Where are they going? What are they doing? Every creature seems to be in a hurry. Everyone is doing something or the other. Everyone is performing actions. In fact, all the actions that we perform can be divided into two categories. We either perform actions that involve the body and the mind, they're physical plus mental actions, and we perform actions that involve only the mind, in which the body is not at all involved. These are only mental actions. But we never perform an action which is only physical, in which the mind is not at all involved. So it means that our mind is really the performer of all our actions. Our mind, which thinks, the thinking faculty, the faculty of thinking that we have, it is involved in every action we perform, which means that there is always a reason behind everything that we do. We don't do anything without a reason. Karanena bina karyam na kadachana vidyate. Yoga Shikhopanishad, chapter 1, mantra 37 says, no one performs any action without a reason, without a karan. No karya, no action can be performed without a karan. No karya, no action can be performed without karan, without a reason. Prayojana manuddishya mandopi na pravartate. Darshan Shastra says that even the greatest fool does not work without a motive. So there's always a purpose behind whatever we do. You may argue that the madman in the mental asylum has no reason to do what he does. Sometimes he laughs, sometimes he cries, sometimes he goes and chases someone, he tries to beat someone up. His works, his actions are haphazard. There's no reason behind them. But let's be careful. If we say that there's no reason, there's no motive behind the actions of a madman in the mental asylum, then we would have to say that there is no reason, no motive behind our actions. But then we would say, well, I'm not a madman, or I'm not a mad woman, I'm not crazy. Whom do we call crazy? We call a person crazy, we call him a madman if he doesn't recognize his family members, he doesn't recognize his mother, his father, his relatives, his loved ones. He doesn't know where he is. He doesn't even recognize himself. He doesn't even know himself. That is the height of madness, we would say. But then again, the enlightened saints, when they ask us, do you know who you are? We say, of course I know who I am. But who are you? In answering this question, we give so many incorrect answers. We give our name, I'm Suresh, or I'm Dinesh. Or we give our profession, I'm a lawyer, I'm a doctor, I am, I'm in technology, I'm in IT, I'm a teacher. Or we give our nationality as our introduction, I'm an American, I'm an Indian. Or we give the color of our skin as our introduction, I'm brown, I'm white, I'm black. We give so many incorrect answers. The correct answer is, I am the soul. Naha manushyo, na cha deva yaksho, na brahmana, kshatriya, vaishya, shudra. Na brahmachari, na grihi vanastho, bhikshur, na chaham nijabodha rupa. I'm not a human, I'm not a yaksh, I'm not a devta, I'm not a Brahmin, I'm not a Kshatriya, Vaishya, or Shudra. I'm not a Brahmachari, a celibate student, nor am I a householder, a Grihastha. I'm not a Vanaprasthi, a forest dweller, nor am I a mendicant sannyasi. These are the words of a little child who spoke for the first time in his life when Adi Shankaracharya asked him, son, who are you? The boy said, he gave this answer. Such wisdom in someone so small. So the correct answer is, I am the soul. Shivoham, Shivoham. I am the soul. The soul is what I am. But we do not give this answer. We give so many incorrect answers. So that means, in the eyes of God and saints, we too are mad. We are crazy. We don't know who we are. And according to our own definition, a madman is one who doesn't know himself. That's the height of madness, we say. Then we are seriously mad. So there is a purpose behind every action that we perform. You know, whether it's a madman in the mental asylum, or whether it is we who don't know ourselves, or actually the saints also. Even they are mad. Well, that's a sin, calling a saint a madman? No, no, no. They're truly mad. Our madness is that we are running madly after the world. Knowing that, thinking that we are the body, we are running madly after the world. The world interests us tremendously. It captures our attention. We're running madly after the world. How can I enjoy more and more of worldly pleasures? How can I get more and more worldly property? How can I accumulate more and more and more? And we are encouraged by everyone in the world to do that. People tell us, and we believe this, that the successful person is the one who has a lot of money, one who lives in a big, big house, the one who has the maximum amount of things and maximum amount of friends. We actually believe this falsehood to be true. So we are running madly after the world. But saints are also running madly. They're running madly after God. When Sri Maharaji went many, many years ago, Sri Maharaji went to a place called Raigad in Madhya Pradesh in India. He gave lectures. When Sri Maharaji visited that city, people in that city said, Maharaji, Seth Karodimal is the most affluent person. He's the most affluent man in this city, and he really needs to hear your lectures. Sri Maharaji sent for him. Sri Maharaji wrote him a letter in which he said, I have come to your city, and you are a prominent citizen of this city. So it is only fitting that you should come and welcome me. And you can do that by just attending my lectures. That's all the welcome I need. You just come and listen. I have come to serve you. But Seth Karodimal ignored the letter. He did not go to a single lecture. And Sri Maharaji was in his city for 2 weeks. But after the lectures were finished, and when Sri Maharaji was about to leave for the next city, for Vilaspur, Seth Karodimal sent his chamchas, his cronies, and they asked Sri Maharaji they invited Sri Maharaji to Seth Karodimal's residence, which was called Seva Kunj. And anyone who was anyone, all the VIPs when they used to visit Raigad, they would go and visit him. Prime ministers, presidents, everyone would go there. He was a very prominent man. But saints are of a different sort. They don't care about what position you occupy, how much money you have, how big your villa is, your house is. So Sri Maharaji heard the invitation, but he sent a message in the form of a poetry. He did not go, but he sent this message. Nasha hai tujhko dunya ka. Seth Karodimal, नशा है तुझको दुनिया का, मुझे है दुनिया वाले का. मेरा माशूक साकी है, तू आशिक खाली प्याले का. Sri Maharaji said, so eloquently he said, and effortlessly he would write such amazing poetry. He said, Seth Karodimal, you and I are both mad. We share this madness. The difference is that you are running madly after this world, which has no happiness to give, and I'm madly running after the creator of this world, who continually fills my cup with happiness. Sri Maharaji did not go to visit him. So saints are mad too. They're running madly after the world, after God. Now, our madness is not as serious as their madness. How so? Because sometimes we do become detached from this world. When things are not going our way, when our loved ones disappoint us, because we become disappointed, we say, there's nothing in this world. It's temporary detachment, but we do become, even if it's temporary, we become temporarily detached from this material world. We stop running so madly after it. There are times when we stop running madly after it. But saints they always run madly after God. And their madness is such that it keeps on increasing. So their madness is more intense than ours. But it does not matter what kind of madman it is, whether it's the madman in the mental asylum, or all of us who are running madly after the world, or saints who are running madly after God. Everyone's actions have a certain motive behind it. You may say, if you know that Ramayan, then you may say, but Tulsidas ji says something else in that Ramayan. He says not everyone has a reason behind their actions. How so? What does he say? Khal binu swarath par apkari, ahi mushak iv sunu urgari. Like the rat and the serpent, the snake, there are evil people in the world who harm others without a motive. Why does a rat, you might think, why did the rat chew up my shirt? What did the rat gain by doing this? Nothing. Why did the snake bite that man? The poor man died. Why? No reason. Akaran. Bair akaran sab kahu so, jo kar hit anhit tahu so. So there seem to be some who work aimlessly. No. Tulsidas ji says, he says, no, even they work with a reason. They work due to a reason. Khalan hriday ati taap visekhi, jarahi sada par sampati dekhi. Jaha kahu ninda sunahi parai, harashahi manahu parinidhi pai. The evil ones, they harm others because by harming others, they feel happy. The rat and the serpent feel happy when they cause damage to others. There are evil people in the world who commit atrocities because when they do so, they become happy. Now, what kind of sick mentality is that, we ask? To them, it makes sense. When they see the suffering of others, they become happy. Thankfully, we are unfamiliar with that sentiment. But there are people in the world who feel this way. Now, there are three classes of personalities that exist. One is Maya Dhin, one is Maya Tit, one is Maya Dhish. Maya Dhin, the ones who are controlled by the beguiling energy of God known as Maya. That would be us. We are under the control of Maya. There's no embarrassment in admitting it. We are controlled by Maya, that is a fact. So we are Maya Dhin, under the control of Maya. Then there are those who are beyond the control of Maya. Some of them are eternally, they have always been beyond the control of Maya. Some of them were just like us, but then they became surrendered to God, and when they became fully surrendered to God, God took them beyond Maya. Maya had no longer a hold on them. They are called Maya Tit. They go beyond Maya. They become divine. Some of them, Nitya Siddha Mahapurush, they were always divine. They were never under the control of Maya. And some like Tulsi, Sur, Meera, Kabir, Nanak, they were Sadhan Siddha Mahapurush. They were once like us, but then they became God realized, and they went beyond the control of Maya. And then there's one who is Maya Dhish, the governor of Maya, the lord of Maya. Sodasi Raghubir ki. Maya is his maidservant. He is the supreme lord. And all these three perform actions. Maya Dhin, Maya Tit, and Maya Dhish. Why does God perform actions? There's no need. Shri Krishna says, yes, there's no need. In the 3rd chapter of the Gita, Bhagwan says, Name parthasti kartavyam trishu lokeshu kinchana nanavaptam avaptavyam varta evacha karmani. Chapter 3, verse 22. O Arjun, O Parth, O son of Pritha, there is no reason for me to perform any action. There's nothing for me to attain, but I still work. Why? So that men may follow in my footsteps. He's the Lord, He's the Master, He's the ultimate teacher. So when He does something, we are likely to follow. So that others may follow in my footsteps, I perform actions, O Parth. Saints perform actions. Why do they work? They don't need to. They have attained God, there is nothing left for them to work towards. But they work. Why? पर उपकार वचन मन काया संत सहज सुभाव खगराया भूर्ज तरु संत कृपाला परहित सहनित विपति विसाला. Saints work for the benefit of mankind. There are 4 classes of people in the world. So saints work for the benefit of all, for the welfare of all. So 4 classes of personalities exist. Eke satpurushaah parartha ghatakaah swarthan parityajya ye samanyastu parartha mudyam abhritam swartha virodhena ye temi manava rakshasah parahitam स्वार्थाय विघ्नन्ति ये तु घ्नन्ति निरर्थकं परहितं ते के न जानीमहे. One kind of personality is he who would willingly harm himself to help others. These are very rare souls. These are the God-realized souls, saints. They don't care even for their life. Even if their life is at stake, even if their life is in danger, they will not mind it. If they could help someone else, they would willingly lose even their own life. These are very rare, special souls. They are God walking on earth in the human form. Then there are those who will share with others. They look out for themselves and they look out for their fellow man. And then there are those, number 3, there are those who harm others for their own welfare, for their benefit. If it suits them, if it is something that they can get from harming another, they won't mind harming that person. And 4th and the final kind of person is the one who harms others without a motive. Without a motive. But we found out that even he derives happiness from it. So it doesn't matter which class of personality it is, everyone is doing something or the other, and there's always a motive behind all the works of all classes of personalities. Now, we are not saints, we are certainly not God, we are not saints, but we are not so evil either. We are just common people. So the saint works for the sake of others, but why? Para dukh dukh, sukh sukh dekhe par. When he sees others being happy, the saint feels happy himself. When he sees the misery of others, he himself feels miserable. He feels the unhappiness of others. He feels the sorrow of others. He's able to feel for others, and so it makes him happy when he sees others being happy. That's why he is benevolent towards all. But now the question is, what are we all looking for? What are we searching for in life? There's always a reason behind what we do, all the actions that we perform. Nahi kaschit kshanamapi jatu tishthatya karma krit. Bhagavad Gita chapter 3 verse 5 says that no individual soul that has a mind and an intellect can remain inactive even for a fraction of a moment. And interestingly enough, this verse is in the Bhagavad as well, Canto 6, Chapter 1, verse 53. So no individual can remain inactive even for a fraction of a moment. Act we must. The cessation of all activity is a signature of death. So we are always working, and there's always a reason behind all our actions. What is that reason? Well, there are 7 billion people in the world. First, let me go and ask everyone, what are we looking for? What are you looking for, sir? Madam, what are you looking for? Little child, what are you looking for? Young man, young woman, what are you looking for? We have to ask everyone because everyone seems to be wanting something different. So what are we looking for? In answer to this question, we are likely to think that there's billions and billions of answers because one single person wants so many different things. I want money, I want education, I want a good family, I want good friends. One person wants so many different things, so it's likely that there are billions and billions of answers. However, the Bhagavad Puran says no. There's only one thing that everyone wants, only one thing. Sukhaya karmani karoti loko natai sukham va nyaduparamam va vindeta bhuyastata eva dukkham yadatra yuktam bhagavan vadenna. Bhagavad Puran 352, canto, chapter verse. Bhagwan Vedavyas says that every living creature is looking only for one thing, and that is sukh, happiness, nothing else. Sarvesham api bhutanam nripasvatmaiva vallabha itare patya vittadyas tadvallabha tayaivahi. 10:14:50 Bhagavad Puran. Vedavyas says, if someone claims to desire something else besides happiness, such as wealth, friends, family, whatever else it may be, then tell him that he desires all these things for the sake of happiness. We desire everything for the sake of happiness, and we desire happiness for the sake of happiness itself. Why do you desire money? To be happy. Why do you desire a big house, an expensive house? To be happy. Why do you desire so many clothes and so many pairs of shoes, so many cars, a whole fleet? Because they will give me happiness, that's why. Why do you desire name and fame? Because of happiness. Why do you desire good health? Because good health will make me happy, that's why. Every desire of ours merges into the desire of happiness. So, although there are 7 billion people in the world, but there's only one desire that everyone has, and that is to be happy. And there are so many different creatures that exist in this wonderful creation, and they all want only happiness. Even trees. The leaves of a thirsty tree which does not get water, they wilt due to sorrow. When water is given, the leaves become happy and they flourish. The whole tree flourishes. Insects, birds, animals, plants, trees, every creature wants only happiness. Swami Vivekananda has said, there are seemingly different aims and desires can be compared to the radii emanating from the center of a circle that seem to be many from the outside looking in, but that turn out to be just one from the inside looking out. Think about it. Radii emanating from the center of a circle. So there's the center of a circle, and there's so many lines going out, right? And it seems like there's so many. From the outside, it looks like there's so many. When you look inside, there's just one. That one desire is a desire for happiness. We are so different from one another. Some are tall, some are short, some are stocky, some are thin, some are black, some are white, some are brown. Some are young, some are old, some are middle-aged. There are so many differences. Some are more intellectual, some are more emotional. There are so many differences amongst us, but there's only one thing. There is one thing that unites us all, and that is the desire for happiness. And all living creatures are united in the sense that we are all searching for the same thing. We did not have to be told to desire happiness. Teachers don't have to tell students Parents do not have to tell their children. Older siblings don't have to teach their younger siblings. Look, little one, you're my little brother, you're my little sister. I'm going to teach you a wonderful lesson today. Lesson for today is don't look for unhappiness in life. Always search for happiness in life. And there's no reason to teach this lesson because everyone already knows it instinctively. We perform so many actions and so many mutually contradictory actions, which means like laughing and crying. They're so contrary to one another. Laughing and crying, sitting and standing, going to sleep and waking up in the morning, going to sleep at night, waking up in the morning, eating food and abstaining from food, being friendly and being unfriendly. There are so many mutual contradictions behind our actions, but no matter what action it is, the fact is that all our mutually and contradictory actions are performed for the same reason. The reason is search for happiness. Now the question is, why is it that we all have a natural desire for happiness? We had to be told everything else. We had to be taught everything else. This is how you make an A. You go like this, and you go like this, and you go like this. It takes a child so long to learn how to draw an A. The child learns the alphabet. Very basic knowledge has to be given, but we know something so amazing that I'm going to look for happiness in life. We know it. A newborn child, when we were born, we knew it at that point. When we were born, we cried. That is the first action we performed. Every newborn lets out a cry. Why? Oh, just because. No, it's not enough to shrug our shoulders and say, just because. Children do that, right? Why did you do that? I don't know. Just cause. Cause what? Cause. No. There's a reason behind everything. So, how is it that we know that we should search for happiness? There has to be a reason. And there is one. The reason that we are searching for happiness will be disclosed in a couple of steps. The first step to understand the reason why we're searching for happiness is to understand, first step is to understand that we are all part and parcel of God. We are all fractions of God. Chinmatram Shri Hareransham Sukshmam Aksharam Avyayam Krishnadhinamiti Prahur Jivam Jnana Gunashrayam. The Vedas tell us that we are all, individual souls are all part and parcel of God. Amritasya Vaiputraha. Every living creature, every living being, every individual soul is a child of God. We are children of God. We are part and parcel of God. We are fractions of God. Swakrita Pureshva Mishva Bahirantara Samvaranam Tava Purusham Vadante Khila Shakti Dhriton Shakritam. Bhagavad Puran, Canto 10, Chapter 87, verse 20 says the same, that we are all individual souls are eternal fractions of the Supreme. Bhagwan Shri Krishna says to Arjun in the Bhagavad Gita, O Arjun, Mamaivansho Jivaloke Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. Chapter 15, verse 7. All individual souls are my eternal fractions. Ishwar Ansh Jiv Avinashi Chetan Amal Sahaj Sukh Rashi. Ramcharitmanas. So we are all fractions of God. Fraction does not mean that we are a fragment of God. Please pay attention to this. And to pay attention, you must have your head up, eyes open. Fraction does not mean a fragment. It's not like God is like a rock, and then you chisel away at it, you hammer away at it, and little fragments come out. I understand. God is this rock, and we are fragments, like these fragments. That's how we are fractions, right? No, not like that. When scriptures say that we are fractions of God, they mean that we are one of God's energies. We are part of one of God's energies called Jeev Shakti. So we are fractions of God. That's the first step. Second step is to understand and to acknowledge that every fraction has a natural affinity towards the source. It's a well-known fact that rivers are a part of the ocean. So ocean is the source, and therefore every river flows towards the ocean. Like the Ganga flows miles and miles until it empties into Ganga Sagar. It goes into the ocean. Every river flows into the ocean. It flows towards the ocean and finds its fulfillment when it empties into the ocean. It's a part and parcel of the ocean. Any material object that you hold on to in your hand, you have a clenched fist, and you have, let's say, a coin in your hand. It's a part of the material world. You loosen the grip, and that coin, it won't fly up in the sky. It will fall down towards the earth. You will say, yes, this is the law of gravity. Indeed, it is the law of gravity, yes. What it says is that an object of the world will gravitate towards the earth because it is a part and parcel of the earth. That is why. If you light a fire, flames will rise upwards towards the sun because fire is part and parcel of the sun. This is why. In the same way, then, every individual soul is a part and parcel of God, and therefore every soul has a natural affinity for God. Whether we are aware of it or not, whether or not we are aware of it, but every soul, we all have an affinity towards God. All right? So the Atma is a part and parcel of Paramatma, and being a part and parcel of Paramatma, it has a natural desire for Paramatma, for God. But then how do you explain the desire that we all have for happiness? Where does that fit in? That comes with the third step. The third step is to understand the nature of God. We have so many questions in our mind. We have so many questions. Inquiring minds wish to know. And a lot of these questions we have are useless, but sometimes we have very useful, very good questions. Bhrigu had an amazing question. He had the best question ever. And he asked his father, because his father knew the answer. The question was, what is the nature of God? Who is Brahma? Who is God? And only someone who knows God can answer this question. So Bhrigu's father was Varuni. He's God realized. So he asked his father, accepting his father to be his guru, he asked, Father, tell me about Brahma. His father said, I cannot just tell you about Brahma and you can understand. God can be known through experience, but I shall give you a hint. Yato va imani bhutani jayante yena jatani jivanti yat prayanti abhisamvishanti tad Brahma. Taittiriya Upanishad. Varuni said, Oh Bhrigu, know that Brahma is the one from whom all living creatures are born. Brahma is the one in whom they all dwell, and Brahma is the one into whom all merge upon death. Know him to be Brahma. And now go and meditate and find out from your practical experience who God is. Bhrigu came back and said, I have understood that annam brahmeti, annam brahmeti vajanat, annadhyev, etc. That food is Brahma. His father said, not at all, go back. Second time he came back after further meditation and he said, Father, I have found out that pran is Brahma, the vital breath. No, go back. Third time he said, Mano Brahma, mind is Brahma. His father said, no, go back. Fourth time he returned after further meditation. He said, Father, the Atma, the soul is Brahma. His father said, you have come very close to knowing the answer. Go back further, meditate further. Fifth and the last time he came back, he said, Father, I have discovered that God is Anand. God is unlimited happiness. Am I right, Father? His father said, you're right. You have discovered the truth. Brahma is Anand. God is happiness. Anando Brahmeti Vyajanat. Anandadhyeva khal vimani bhutani jayante. Anandena jatani jivanti anandam prayantyabhisamvishanti. Taittiriya Upanishad. Chandogya Upanishad says, Ananda evadhastat, Ananda purastat, Ananda paschat, Ananda uttartah, Anando dakshinatah, Ananda eve dagvam sarvam. There is happiness and happiness alone, to his east, to his west, to his north, to his south. Happiness inside of him and happiness outside of him, happiness all around him. That is who God is. So we are part and parcel of God. Every part has a natural affinity towards its source. So we have a natural affinity for God. And God is another name for happiness. Therefore, we all have a natural desire for happiness. You can say that we are slaves of happiness. We are servants of happiness. We cannot look for anything else. We're always wanting to be happy. Because we are part and parcel of God, who is happiness. The nature of God is bliss. Bliss, happiness. Yo vai bhuma tat sukham, says Chandogya Upanishad. Nalpe sukham asti, bhuma tveva vijigyasitavyaha. Happiness is unlimited, everlasting. It's unlimited and everlasting, and furthermore, pratikshanam vardhamanam. It increases with every moment that passes. That is who God is. Unlimited, everlasting, ever-increasing happiness. We are part and parcel of God, who is true happiness. This is why we're always looking for happiness in the world. No matter where we go, no matter who we speak to, no matter what we do, whether we perform a good action or a bad action or devotional action, we perform all our actions. All kinds of actions are being performed by us for one reason. The reason is the search for happiness. We cannot look for unhappiness even if we tried. It is our natural nature to search for happiness. You see, habits can change. We can change habits. We cannot change our nature. We will never be able to look for unhappiness. We will always search for happiness. We will stop only once we find it. So that means we'll have to search for God. We have searched in the world countless times in countless lives, and we have not found happiness. We found temporary joys and pleasures. As children, we played with toys. We were so mesmerized by the toys. New toy. And we played with it, we played with it, we played with it for a couple of days, and then we put it away. We wanted another toy, another toy, and another toy, and a game. And then the toys became bigger and they became more sophisticated. And then we became adults, and then we wanted those toys, like cars, a house, and outfits, and gold, and this and that. And we got a lot. We actually came into possession of great amounts of wealth. We have lived countless lives. I suspect that we've all been kings and queens also. We've been very wealthy, we've been paupers as well, but we have received countless wealth as well. We have had lots of wealth. But we did not become satisfied. We are still looking. Why? Because there was no happiness in the world, and so we didn't receive it. If we want true happiness, we would have to search for God. We have not found true happiness. If we had, we wouldn't be looking right now. We wouldn't be in this world if we had found true happiness. So we will have to search for happiness in God. But now, scriptures say that God cannot be known. He cannot be attained. He cannot be known. Yasya matam tasya matam matam tasya navedasaha. Avijñatam vijanatam vijñatam avijanatam. Meaning, the Vedas say, he who thinks he can know God is most foolish, and he who understands that God cannot be known is very intelligent. So he who thinks God can be known is the most foolish, and he who understands that God cannot be known is highly intelligent. So what are you saying? What we're saying is God cannot be known. Oh. So we shouldn't look. But then the Vedas and Vedic scriptures also say, no, countless souls have attained God. What are you talking about? Countless souls have known God, they have attained God. So if one person can do something, that means the rest of us can do it too. If Meera can do it, if Surdas, Tulsidas, Tukaram, Eknath can do it, then we can also. So now the question is, two questions. Why do scriptures say that God cannot be known? Number one. Number two, how can God be known? If he can be known, then how? These are the questions that I will take up tomorrow at the same time. Boliye Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki, Srimad Sadguru Sarkar ki, Jai Jai Shri Radhe, Jai Jai Shri Radhe, Jai Jai Shri